Hi. Living in other countries requires us to understand more about laws and cultures of the country we have chosen to live in. One of the legal terms that does not exist in some countries' laws, but it does exist in Australia's law, is tort. Today I'm going to talk about tort, as well as battery and assault. Let's talk about assault and battery first. Assault. Any intentional act that causes another person to be fearful with no requirement of any actual physical contact. Intention and act need to be provided, and word by itself is not enough for assault. For example, if someone throws a punch at a victim without even touching them, it could be considered assault. Battery. Any intentional and offensive physical contact with a victim who has not given his consent to be touched is a battery. In other words, touching someone without his consent could be considered battery. Assault and battery usually come together. In battery, there is always the intention of harmful or offensive contact. Let's look at some examples. For example, slapping someone in the face, unwanted hugging or kissing, pulling out a chair from under someone, or providing helpful touches like first aid could be considered battery. Now let's talk about tort. So the question is, what is tort? Tort is a wrongful act or civil wrong that results in injury to another person, property, and reputation. There are three types of torts: negligent, intentional, and strict liability. First, negligent tort. I'll give you some examples of negligent torts. For example, someone spills water on the floor in a restaurant or a shop, and an employee of the restaurant or shop fails to put up a wet floor sign. As a result, another customer slips on the wet floor and ends up with an injury. So this act is actually a tort. Another example. A driver fails to use signals when he wants to change lanes and ends up damaging another vehicle and causing injury to the vehicle's driver. Is another example of negligent tort. Intentional torts. Some examples of intentional torts are invasion of privacy, like taking picture or video of someone without their knowledge in a private place, or intercepting phone calls. Battery and assault are also intentional torts. I already talked about battery and assault in this video. And the last type of tort is strict liability. Some examples of strict liability. The first one is, for example, Jack owns certain types of animals. If one of the animals causes injury to another person or even other animals, Jack has committed a strict liability tort. Or another example, damages or injuries caused by blasting rocks, by dynamite or nuclear power plants are also strict liability torts.